I was browsing Reddit last night and I came across a post that showed that there's a specific area inside a Colossal Problem that seems like a bit of a cheese area, and I thought that might be worth taking a look at. So let's take a look at it. First and foremost, the link to the Reddit post I'm referring to is in the description in the video, and all credit to the original poster. I did not discover this, I just want to have a look at it. So when you enter the fight, before you even start it, you want to hang a right and just go where I'm going. Now I'm taking this event on solo. I've been doing solo quite a bit, trying to get used to it, trying to get my DPS up any way I can. See that piece of yellow machinery to my left? You can kind of come in behind it here. It's very acidic behind you. That stuff can damage you, but while you're here, you can shoot Earl from the left, or you can go over and you can shoot from the right. Now, there seems to be a bit of a pathing issue here, whereas Earl cannot get in behind that machine. So you can kind of stay hidden in here, take a few pot shots at him, like so in a second, and then you kind of got to duck and move, because he can still hit you, he can still spit at you, and he can still hit you hard. So you got to pretty much have that discipline. If you know what I mean by discipline is you might be halfway through a mag and you have to disengage and hide because he's about to spit at you. You'll kind of get the gist as to when he's about to do this. So you want to duck and dive, because he can hit you in here and he can hit you pretty hard. So you're definitely going to want some stim packs. I'm lucky enough that I'm playing stealth, so he's finding it very hard to lock onto me. So he's only shooting my previous location. If you're not playing stealth, this of course will be a little trickier. But overall, I find it's much easier than being out on the map, because there are a lot of really disciplined and talented Fallout 76 players that have already learned the ins and outs of this map. I'm not as talented or as disciplined as they are. I just chase what's in front of me, and all these different AoEs keep killing me. Something from the ceiling drops, I'm dead. I'm facing up against Earl, I think I'm doing pretty good, I'm getting in some good DPS, and suddenly I'm dead from something else. Something from the environment itself. So, from my perspective, when I'm soloing this, I find it's great. I really do like this. I'm just going to run through the fight real quick, because this is all positive for me. Then I'll load up the second time I went in here, just to show you the potential negative. But overall, I like it. I thought this would be a great idea, because originally I wanted to farm him because there was no one on a server. And I wanted screws. I was in bad need of screws, so I thought, hey, I solo him. And I did, but I did a lot of dying. But if you have the need for screws, or you just want to solo him yourself, you just want to solo him yourself for your very first time when you're having difficulty because of the environment, this is certainly the way to do it. Or is it? You see, if you're down here and you want screws, if you're down here on your own soloing him, you're not going to get as many Wendigos spawning. In fact, the amount of Wendigos that spawn into this fight seem to be more related to the amount of people in the fight itself. So the more players you're in here with, the more Wendigos that are going to appear, the more screws you're actually going to get. And I definitely don't recommend coming in here with a group. If you're just joining this event and there's already a group in here, go with the group. Don't hang back here. Unless the whole group is hanging back here, but that in itself is going to be highly entertaining as you're all trying to move around in this small space with that poison behind you and him hitting from the front. I don't see it working. I see this works brilliant though as a solo, or maybe a dual effort, or maybe a team of 3 if you're careful and you're working together. Then I think it will work. It's a nice location in terms of a nice little map cheese point, but I feel at the same time it does take from the fight. Like, as much criticism as I had for a Colossal Problem, and all my criticism was in regards to simply its delays, I absolutely love, for the most part, how this encounter has been implemented. I love the chaos of the map. I love how, up to 8 players come in and brute force it. I wish there was more than 8, to be honest. I do love the craziness that is a queen battle sometimes. Really miss that, but at the same time, I love the chaos in here. This feels very safe, which is a good thing. You know, if you're struggling to solo him, I think it's good practice to figure out what works for you, what kind of DPS you can get to switch around the different buffs and all that you're using or equipment. But I still feel once you get pretty comfortable dropping Earl, don't be afraid to step out. That's where I have most fun in that. Other than doing this video, I think I'll still be spending most of my time out there, because I'm still trying to learn the map and learn where to avoid. And while just when I think I have it, I idiotically run into something. Here's the negative part. The Wendigos can find their way up here. So while as Earl's pathing does not allow him up to where you are, the Wendigos can certainly make an appearance. So that's something you're going to have to keep an eye on. Again, if you're a stealth character, this is... I've never found it an issue. They just stand there because they don't know where I am. Which is great because I can kill them and and just make sure their bodies are there. So that screws for me later. Look, brilliant, brilliant. It also helps as well with the adrenaline I'm running. But you could be overwhelmed quite quickly if you weren't taking advantage. Or you could be focusing on Earl and 2 or 3 just pop in behind you and start swatting you. And as you turn and focus your attention on them, when you know it, Earl hits you and he hits you hard. So that's pretty much the only negative I found in this spot, is that while Earl's pathing won't let him here, the Wendigos will all be making their way here, as this will always be your last known location in caution, so to speak. But regardless, very enjoyable in terms of a cheese location. But I just want to clarify as well with the word cheese. I think cheese in this, if you played, I think back to the original Destiny, right? If you play that, there were certain cheese locations on the map, but you still had to do the DPS to the boss. If you're coming into this thinking, oh good, a way to cheese the boss to get this done nice and fast, this is not going to work for you. If you can't output the DPS needed in the time allotted, this will not help you regardless. This is just, I think, a safer place to get that DPS in, but if you're not capable of outputting the necessary DPS to take him out, this is not going to work for you. It's not going to make the fight faster in that sense. It's not a cheesy way to kill him without putting in the necessary ammo, if you get what I'm saying. It's just a nice cheesy location on the map to make your life a little easier, especially if you're soloing him. It just moves the environmental issues out of the way. You just have him right in front of you, and you can just move over and back, left and right, to avoid his spit attacks and all that jazz, and just give him what you got. That's what I have. That's what I've been practicing today. As I said, quite happy with it. I think it's great for someone who's struggling with taking him down solo. It's a nice spot to work on your DPS numbers before you head back out. But don't let it take the fun from it at the same time. Don't be afraid to step out and take him on. This is a fantastic encounter, and at least I feel the chaos is amazing. Anyway, hopefully you found this video some bit useful or entertaining. If you liked it, please do hit the like button and like the video. If you're not already subscribed, consider a subscription. And until next time, take it easy. All the best.